like these Hispanics, they're overwhelmingly coming out in favor of Trump.
Hello, welcome into Friday edition of the show. I'm trying to get my head cord untangled, and I think I'm making it worse. So here's the band. Let's get started, shall we? Well, our long national nightmare is over. No, not inflation, not the border, not our fecklessness on the world stage. The Democratic National Convention is over. If you watched it, and I could only watch so much. I mean, I love you guys as my audience here on the Bruce Hooley Show, but turns out there is a limit to what I will do on your behalf. And listening to screechy, lying Democrats is apparently where the line draws. But we will report fully on what happened and the array of lies told from the podium at the DNC, with Kamala Harris last night accepting the mantle of nominee for the Democratic Party. The party that is so concerned about stewarding democracy has, yes, nominated a person who did not get a single vote in any of the primaries. What better testament to how seriously they really take democracy than the fact that, did she get a vote, a single vote when she ran in 2020? I know she pulled out before the first primary, but there were probably a few crazy people who voted for her just because her name was probably still on some ballots around the country. But it is not an exaggeration to say she didn't get a single vote this time, because her name wasn't even on any of the ballots. Dean Phillips' name was on. RFK was not. By the way, RFK may endorse Trump today. I don't know how much of a difference that will make, if any. But if you look back to the 2020 election, of course, we had razor-thin margins in Arizona and Georgia. Remember, the margin in Arizona was 10,457 votes. That's how much Joe Biden won Arizona by in 2020. 11,779 in Georgia. And who knows how robust the margin would have been if they didn't have to shut down the counting of the ballots in the middle of the night because of a water leak that never happened. I mean, margin probably would have been 1 million votes if that didn't happen. But we will get back to the Democratic National Convention. Donald Trump was on the border in Arizona yesterday, along with some of the people whose lives have been deeply affected by Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's border policies. The mother of Rachel Morin, the 37-year-old mom of 5 in Maryland, who was murdered by an illegal alien, and the mother of, was she 12 years old? Jocelyn Nungary, the Houston girl. Ruby Garcia's parents, to my knowledge, were not there. Laken Riley's parents, to my knowledge, were not there. The list is long. I remember the names. Here's what I would love to happen. Okay, I would love for Peter Doocy or whoever's chasing Kamala Harris around to say, could you tell me who Laken Riley was? Could you tell me who Ruby Garcia was? Could you tell me who Jocelyn Nungary was? Could you tell me who Rachel Morin was? Let's see how much she knows. Because my guess is she doesn't know anything. But she cares so deeply about America. She cares so deeply about the middle class in particular. She's just one big ball of compassion. Kamala Harris is. Now, the data breach, I haven't led with it, but let's get to it right now. No news on the actual data breach. And we've been told that Andrew Ginther, the mayor, Zach Klein, the law director, everybody in city government is doing everything they can. And you know how we know they're doing everything they can is that none of them can come out and answer any questions because they're just so busy. They're just so incredibly busy trying to get to the bottom of this data breach that has exposed the personal information, social security numbers, driver's license numbers, credit card information, home addresses, everything that a hacker would want to know to steal your identity, to steal your bank account, steal your title, take out a second mortgage on your home without you knowing it. All of that information is at risk for at least 500,000 people in Central Ohio. And the reason why we know that, Andrew Ginther, Zach Klein, Shannon Hardin, and the other Democrats are on top of this and are unavailable for interviews from any of the TV stations or the Columbus Dispatch or me or anyone else in radio. The reason we know this is because if they had the time, they would be more than welcome to come out and, or more than willing to come out and talk about it, because, you know, they're Democrats. They're all about transparency. They're servants of the people. And so where are they working on this? At City Hall, the mayor's office? Are they meetings? Maybe off-site. Maybe they get away from the work, the hustle, the bustle, the normal routine. Maybe they're headquartered at one of these co-working spaces around town. No, and no. They were all in Chicago at the Democratic National Convention. Confirmation, although it's hard to find it this morning, for a brief time yesterday on the Columbus Dispatch website, there was a story headlined, Columbus Dems slam Shady Vance rally for Harris at Democratic Convention. And there's a picture, and the picture has Zach Klein, Andrew Ginther. Let me see who else is in this. Oh, Shayla Favor, city council member and future prosecutor of the city of Columbus. I believe the other person in that photo is Erica Crawley, Franklin County Commissioner. I think, not sure about that, but I am sure because she's wearing her uniform. Columbus Chief of Police Elaine Bryant. Columbus Chief of Police Elaine Bryant is at the Democratic National Convention, which I don't know. Would she have been useful Thursday when there was a prank call about a gun at Whitehall Yearling High School that sent the entire school community into a panic? Would Elaine Bryant have been useful? Probably not. But I mean, it is kind of her job to protect the people here. Found out yesterday from some police sources that, remember the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, where Columbus police were providing auxiliary security, and they had a crazy person with a knife who was trying to kill another person, and Columbus police officers shot that person and killed him, which he had coming because he was trying to kill someone else. Elaine Bryant did not go to Milwaukee to talk with her officers, even though she was offered transportation and encouraged to go by other people in the police department under her. But she had such a visceral distaste for showing up at the Republican National Convention that she would not go. They even offered to fly her up there in a helicopter. They offered to fly her up there. Nope, not going. But she's at the Democratic National Convention, which, I don't know, did we lend police officers to the Chicago police force so they could beat back the Hamas protesters? Defund the police, great idea if you're a Democrat, but not if we're threatened by protesters who might disrupt our love fest, our joy fest, our vibe fest in Chicago. But there's a picture. There's Andrew Ginther. There's Zach Klein. There's Elaine Bryant. There's Shayla Favor. All of them up there in Chicago while your data is being done with what is being done with your data. Who knows what, because they're not going to tell you. They're certainly not going to identify. Now, he wasn't working on the data breach. But you know who else was not? Well, not else. Who was not at the Democratic National Convention? That would be your Senate candidate, Sherrod Brown. Sherrod Brown, who has voted for 98.5% of Biden-Harris policies since Biden and Harris came into the White House in 2021. Sherrod Brown's a super delegate to the Democratic National Convention, and he has not skipped a convention in at least 12, 16 years. I mean, definitely not going to miss the Obama conventions. Not going to miss the Hillary convention. Didn't miss the Biden convention. But funny, he couldn't break free to visit the Kamala Harris convention. Now you can say, well, he's campaigning. He wasn't campaigning for his job, his very precious job that he's hanging on with white knuckles to keep, even though he's 71 years old right now, at or past the age where most people retire. No, Sherrod Brown is campaigning, but he's got a robust lead in the polls over Bernie Moreno, 5-6 points. Hopefully Bernie will stage a September comeback and free us of Sherrod Brown's idiocy as a senator. But it's also interesting that Sherrod Brown is so allergic to being tied to Biden-Harris policies, which, again, he voted for 98.5% of the time, that he would not even speak to reporters on the phone and say that he supports Kamala Harris. And he would not issue a news release saying that he supported Kamala Harris. He had a campaign spokesperson confirm that he supports Kamala Harris. So I don't want to put it in writing. I don't want you to hear it out of my own mouth. I'm going to put it on a campaign spokesperson. Well, this is the Democratic way now, right? This is the Kamala Harris way. I will ban fracking. I will not prosecute illegal aliens. I am in favor of driver's licenses and free phones and gift cards and everything else for illegals. But now I'm not for that. Can you explain why? No, I can't explain why. No, I won't answer that question. I won't even take that question. And I won't issue a press release about that question. But I will have a campaign spokesperson, unnamed campaign spokesperson, deny it. This is the Democratic way. Sherrod Brown said, I have a lot more voters in Toledo than there are in Chicago. I do my job, and my job is to continue to serve the people. Well, maybe come out and have a debate with Bernie Moreno. How about that?
For this afternoon, sunny and pleasant. The break from the typical August humidity continues with high up to 85. Mainly clear tonight, low 59. A beautiful start to the weekend tomorrow. Times of clouds and sun with a high 87. Clear starry night tomorrow night, low 65. Warming up a bit on Sunday with times of clouds and sun. High up to 89. Mainly clear and humid Sunday night, low 68. Come Monday, partly sunny and hot, high up to 90. I'm Ruth O'Brien on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
This is Josh Pick with Aptus Wealth Management. The U.S. and the world have certainly changed a lot in the last few years. We're facing money dangers that we haven't seen in a long time, maybe ever. Inflation continues to be a problem. Interest rate increases have made purchases like cars and homes seemingly impossible for some, and retirement looks like a scary proposition. For many, it appears to be a dire situation and has left them paralyzed and fearful. You're not helpless.
Especially at our border. After decades in law enforcement, I know the importance of safety and security, especially at our border.
A complimentary meeting may be the key to putting your money to work and your mind at ease. And don't forget to listen to the Aptus Blueprint Radio Show Friday evenings at 6, Saturday afternoons at noon, or call our office today at 614-917-1040.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6745. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6745. That's 800-575-6745. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 40-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost you about $100 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-TERM-LIFE. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-TERM-LIFE. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-TERM-LIFE. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life insurance, call 800-TERM-LIFE. That's 800-TERM-LIFE.
Dennis Prager here. Join me on an unforgettable cruise to the Caribbean this November will cruise to the vibrant islands of Half Moon Cay, Curacao, Bonaire, Turks and Caicos, and much more. We'll be joined by special guest Sean McDowell, and we'll both be sharing insights into current events in a way I hope energizes and challenges. Secure your spot before space runs out by calling 855-565-5519 or book online BreakerCruise.com.
You know, I've told you guys before that one of the great benefits of helping you outfit your home with new flooring is the people I get to meet. And I met two amazing couples yesterday. Man, they really stuck with me because both of them have unique situations in terms of how they serve. And I was just totally blown away. I don't want to tell you who they are or even where they are, but I'm just super touched that there's so many good people out there who use their gifts and talents to help others. I'd love to help you if you want to look into new carpet or flooring and you've gone to big box stores and you're concerned about the fact that, well, if I get it from Bruce, do I get name brands? Yes, you do. Go to brucehooley.com, click flooring in the upper right-hand corner of the page. Will you wait forever for it? No, you'll get it faster than you will from anyone else, and I'll save you money too. So the privilege is mine to serve you in that way if I can. brucehooley.com, flooring tab, upper right-hand corner of the webpage. While your top Columbus Democratic city brass were in Chicago at the Democratic convention and lying about J.D. Vance, a man who has accomplished more than any of these idiots who have top jobs in the city of Columbus have or ever will, life continued here in the city, where yesterday Marquan Payton, 18 years old, was shot to death near Dodge Park in the Franklinton neighborhood of Columbus. Mr. Payton walked up to an SUV in the street, which tells you that he probably knew the person, except the person inside did not have the best of intentions for Mr. Payton. He shot him and killed him. No description so far of the SUV. Now, I mentioned in the open the chaotic scene at Whitehall Yearling High School yesterday, where shortly before noon, reports started to come in that there was an active shooter at the school. One of the parents at the school, her name is Shanice Simmons, tells Channel 10 that the level 3 lockdown at Whitehall Yearling, which is, I would presume, the most serious of the training that they undergo, caused all the students to either flee the building or lock down in classrooms. You can imagine the terror. It's a violent neighborhood, Whitehall is, along with Franklinton, along with the near east side, you know, in areas between Whitehall and downtown. Also, of course, Linden and the Hilltop. So the description in this story is amazing. This mother jumped in her car, rushed to get her son. She said, and this is quoting the story written by Carly Dion, what she saw in the streets could only be described as chaos. There were hundreds of kids. This is a quote from her. There were hundreds of kids running through the neighborhood, running through yards, screaming, looking for people. It was pure chaos. Now, did the kids leave without the blessing of school officials? No. Superintendent Cherie Wells said this to Channel 10. Anytime there's a level 3 lockdown, the safest options are to run, hide, or fight. And with that, our staff did tell students at this situation, it's an active shooter. That's what they believed. And so they told students, if they had to, that they can run to their safest place. So some of our students were evacuated and chose to run home. There were neighbors who were having students knock on their doors begging to come in. According to this mom, Cherie Simmons, there was a gentleman who said he called 911 as he had about 20 students hiding in his garage. Meanwhile, Elaine Bryan is in Chicago having a high old time at the United Center, probably taking a picture with the Michael Jordan statue. Now, Kamala Harris made a lot of promises. Democrats made a lot of promises. And I'm going to make an editorial decision today here on the show. I am not going to play you very much Kamala Harris sound because as the son of a World War II veteran, I have great respect for the Geneva Convention, and I don't want to violate it. So I'm not going to play very much Kamala Harris sound for you, but I am going to play this cut because while there were myriad lies told by Kamala and the other Democrats, and oh, by the way, I have the most epic rant about the entire Democratic convention that I will treat you to on the other side of the bottom of the hour. It is not my rant. I'm, at least I fancy myself, able to rant with the best of them when it comes to the duplicity and dishonesty of Democrats. But it is not my rant. I was going to, take notes on it and maybe use some of the talking points to fashion my own opinion. Then I thought, sometimes you just got to say, I can't do this any better than the original. And so on the other side of the bottom half of the hour, I'm going to play. It's 4 minutes. It's pure gold because it encapsulates everything about Democrats. It would be worth the Trump administration's time to just play this rant. No, I'm not going to tell you who it's from until I actually air it, about the Democrats. But first, the one, well, maybe more than one. I'll try to keep them short because, I understand. You can only take so many fingernails on a blackboard, and I don't want to be responsible for the rivers of Columbus running red with the blood coming out of your ears from having listened to Kamala Harris cuts ad nauseum here on the Bruce Hooley Show. But here is something Kamala said last night at the DNC.
After decades in law enforcement, I know the importance of safety and security, especially at our border.
I know, yeah. I'm so happy you know that. Well, Donald Trump was at the border in Arizona yesterday, Cochise County, Arizona, to be specific, where they have had in the last 3 years, 1.2 million illegal border crossings. In the 4 years under Donald Trump, they had 302,000. Now, I'm a little shaky on my math from time to time, but that seems like a fourfold increase in illegal border crossers in Cochise County, Arizona. And with Donald Trump at the border yesterday were people who have felt this in ways that no one should ever have to fear it. Here's the mother of Rachel Morin, the 37-year-old mom of 5 from Maryland, talking about her personal experience and the pain she has suffered because of the Biden-Harris policies, turning our southern border into a wide open, never locked revolving door.
She was brutally beaten, raped, and then stuffed into a drain pipe. We're 18,000 miles, 1,800 miles from the border. We're here because we're losing our moms, our daughters, our children to criminals.
Yes, we are. And I've got a story here which I could go. I was actually shocked by how many horrific murders have happened. I mean, I pride myself on keeping track of things that I think can be used to illuminate the lunacy of Democrats and help you speak to your friends and try to get them out of the partisan silo in which they live. But I didn't remember all these names. But here's one I've never forgotten. Here's the mom of 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungary.
I really hope everybody can hear my pain. We need to stop losing children, mothers, sisters, because now I get to grieve every single day. Every milestone that hits gets harder because she's not there for it.
Now, the carnage we know about is terrible enough, but the carnage the Biden administration has hidden from us is even worse. I'll get into some of that and play that epic rant that I talked about next on the Bruce Hooley Show.
With
SRN News, Thomas Thomas. Fed Chair Jerome Powell says it's time for the central bank to think about an interest rate cut. Inflation continues to cool, with moving closer to the Fed's 2% target for a rate cut. We are heading into the thick of the presidential race. Both the parties have held their conventions. Presidential tickets are set. Last night, Kamala Harris accepted the Democratic presidential nomination. On the Arizona border yesterday, former President Trump, who says the Biden-Harris open border has visited death and destruction on the American people. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is withdrawn from the Arizona ballot. Questions swirl about a possible alliance with former President Trump. Watching Wall Street this morning, stocks are sharply higher. Dow is at 452 points, regaining at more than 1%. The NASDAQ up to 31, the S&P 58 points. This is SRN News. Americans now have more credit card debt than any time in history, owing a staggering $1.3 trillion collectively. What happens when most people can't pay their bills? Well, the U.S. economy is clearly moving into uncertain territory. That's why most Christians are turning to gold just for the peace of mind. I'm David, good to see you. Thank you. The Bible tells us that gold is a time.
More on the big breaking news this morning. 5 Secret Service agents put on leave amid the investigation into the shooting and assassination attempt on President Trump.
Here's the good news. You can own gold for your 401k or IRA. My friends at Birch Gold Group can help you buy gold for your retirement account, tax-free and penalty-free. To learn more, text the word FAITH to 989898 for an info kit from Birch Gold that's entirely free, zero cost or obligation. Text that next step right now and take it. Text FAITH to the number 989898 for your free info kit. That's FAITH to 9.
Because truth is not a left-wing value, and the left lies as easy as you breathe. You need the clarity and wisdom of Dennis Prager every weekday afternoon from 1 to 3 on 98.9 FM. The Answer.
Don't buy gold until you hear this. The Warren Buffett indicator just hit 195%. That's higher than it's ever been, even higher than the 2008 global financial crisis. So what's going to happen next this time around? Hi, I'm Drew Urasek. I've been working in finance for decades, and as a former U.S. Marine Sergeant, it was my duty to identify threats and protect Americans. I've been focused on the current threat to millions of Americans' retirement savings. I believe that every American has the right to protect the savings they have worked hard to achieve using physical precious metals like gold and silver. Here at Satsco Gold, we put together the Gold Retirement Protection Guide to help investors like you understand why 2024 is one of the most crucial times to start investing in gold and precious metals. Just text FREEDOM to 76626 and we'll send you a free copy of our Gold Retirement Protection Guide right now. Text FREEDOM to 76626 and get your free copy today. That's FREEDOM to 76626. Standard text and data rates may apply. Past performance is not indicative of future results.
You'll sleep better knowing you got a great deal on a great mattress because you've got it from Mac Mattress Outlet and the Discount Shopping Club. Right now, get a $500 certificate from Mac Mattress Outlet for any mattress purchase for only $250. These certificates go fast, and when they're gone, they're gone. For details, log on to the Discount Shopping Club at 989theanswer.com.
Mattress Outlet. News, opinion, passion. Here, 98.9 FM, The Answer, anywhere you go. With The Answer's mobile app at 98.9theanswer.com. Also on your smart speakers, TuneIn, or iHeart.
Sleeping is important. You got to have your sleep. You want to sleep well through the night. You don't have to get up. You're uncomfortable. You feel like, ow, my back hurts, my neck hurts, or man, my head's just hot. Nope. MyPillow takes care of all those issues. At least they do for me. They won't for you unless you go to mypillow.com and take advantage of the low prices. I've lost track. Is this the week where the MyPillow is $25 or is this the week where the MyPillow is $19.99? You know how you can find out? By going to mypillow.com and using my promo code Bruce. You can send your college student off to study their little heart out with a good night's rest, knowing that they will be refreshed in the morning for that 8 a.m. class if you purchase a MyPillow at mypillow.com and use my promo code Bruce, or a mattress topper or Giza Dream bed sheets or slippers or slides or anything else that's on the MyPillow site, all of which have grown out of the revolutionary MyPillow, which was the first product from Mike Lindell's great company. Check it all out, mypillow.com, promo code Bruce. So now that the Democratic National Convention is over, we'll see if Kamala Harris can continue her game of hide, not hide and seek, because I don't even know if the media seeks her, but she's hiding. After all, worked for Joe Biden in 2020, hiding in the basement. She can't hide in the basement. She doesn't have COVID, but she's certainly got a mind virus, and she's certainly incompetent. And the Biden-Harris administration, incompetent on the economy, incompetent on the world stage, incompetent at the southern border. And I played the 10-second cut of her saying, "Oh, I know how to keep the border." No, you don't. And again, we know the horrific stories. I played you the heartbreaking sentences from the moms whose daughters have been raped and killed by illegals. Those stories we know. We know Rachel Warren's name. We know Laken Riley's name. We know Jocelyn Nunbury, Ruby Garcia. We know those names. We don't even know the names of the number of kids who are being sex trafficked and used for child labor under a system that the Biden administration offers really no acknowledgement of and no attempt to fix. It's incredible. I looked into these numbers. This is from an Inspector General's report, okay? So this is a government agency that says that the Biden administration has lost track of 320,000 migrant children who cross the border without parents. They've been released into the U.S. to what they call qualified sponsors. You know what a qualified sponsor is? It's someone who they can share a common language with, but who also, in fact, may be illegal. Now, you can say, hey, wait a minute, that sounds like a recipe for human trafficking. The drug cartels send illegals across the border, illegal adults, and then the kids are trafficked across the border with the phone number of said illegal who's now safely ensconced in an American city. And so the kid shows up and they show this and the DHS sends them to this person. That's exactly what's happening. In May of 2024, there were 291,000 migrant children who had arrived in the U.S. unaccompanied, were set free, and never given a date to appear in immigration court, meaning there's no way to track where they are. No way. Oh, they decry the kids in the cages. Oh, the kids in the cages. You know what? It's not great to have kids in cages, but if they're in a cage, adults can't get in and rape them. Luke Rosiak, Daily Wire, tells one story, just one. I just want you to hear one. Then we're going to play some whistleblowers. Then we'll get to the epic rant that I talked about, summarizing the DNC. But here's how bad the Harris-Biden administration is on unaccompanied children at the border again. The Daily Wire only knows about this because of the Inspector General's report.
Of 30,000 cases where DHS had specific reason to think these children were missing, 9 times out of 10, they didn't even try to look for them. In one case, a girl was sent to live with a couple, and the female sponsor told a DHS officer that her husband was having sex with the girl. Still, nothing was done.
So they get these calls, they don't even check. You think that just can't possibly happen. There's no way that anybody could be that evil. Oh yeah. Take it from the people who volunteered or who went to work for DHS, who were charged with checking on these kids. Here's 3 whistleblowers back to back who went to the Inspector General to tell their story.
Some of these IDs were false. I brought that up to the upper, management team, and I was told we were not there to investigate the sponsor, that we were there to reunify the child to the sponsor.
So I had a couple of times where the child was crying, saying, "I don't want to go. I don't know this person. I've never seen them in my life." And my coworker would say, "We have to give them over. It's company policy that we can't bring a child back because the contract can be lost." There was actual reports within the companies where these kids were calling the government phone that we had and say, "Hey, I'm being treated bad. I'm being forced to work." Some kids would even go as far as to say, "I'm being raped. I'm being made sleep with multiple men." And I wasn't allowed to have access to the phone outside of work.
So knowing that you're taking documentation that can potentially put this kid in harm's way, and you keep telling them and nothing is being done, it weighs very heavy, Yes. Very heavy.
You just have to be an absolute monster to allow that to happen. And the Biden administration is allowing it to happen. and they are hiding it, and they will not acknowledge it. Okay, I'm stepping back. 4 minutes, an epic rant from Ben Shapiro on the Democratic National Convention, what you were told and what is actually true. Enjoy.
I'm really irritable because I don't like the sensation of the entire Democratic media human centipede peeing on my leg and then insisting that we all dance in the rain. We are being lied to. It is annoying. It is irritating beyond all reason. So stop telling me Kamala Harris is a wondrous politician and a symbol of hope and joy, who dances and sings and cooks, rather than what she is, a manipulative, chameleonic, corrupt careerist who shifts her positions and her person at whim and will not answer a single damned question, not one. We are now on day 33 of answering 0 questions. She's running for president of the United States. And we're supposed to believe that it's all about the vibes, man. It's all about how she really loves Venn diagrams and she's feeling, are you feeling the joy? Are you feeling the joy? Stop telling me Tim Walz, a good old boy, championship winning football coach, instead of what he is, a radical left-winger who caters to trans politics and lets BLM radicals burn down the major cities in Minnesota and calls socialism neighborliness and apparently visits China every 5 seconds. Stop lying to me. Also, he's a weird kook. Have you seen him? Stop telling me that Joe Biden is like George Washington. He's a man willing to sacrifice for the public good, when in reality, Joe Biden is the most corrupt politician of my lifetime. He used his public position to enrich his corrupt venal family for literally decades, since before I was born, and then he was stabbed in the back by his own party and sent to political hospice care just to get rid of him. And now you're saying that he's sacrificial, he's Cincinnatus or George Washington? Stop lying. Stop telling me that Barack Obama is a messianic do-gooder. He's a man descending from the clouds to bring truths from on high to all of us, rather than what he is, which is an ugly, manipulative, racially polarizing machine politician who's willing to claim the right to steal other people's money and spend it on his favorite people, and then divide America based on race, and then make off with hundreds of millions of dollars in book and TV contracts, all the time claiming capitalism is bad and America is unfree. Stop telling me that Michelle Obama is a charming figure of unity, one of the great lights of our age, when she is instead a radical racial leftist who attended America's top universities and is worth bank and complains about the evils of America from one of her 3 multi-million-dollar mansions she earned off the back of being married to Barack Obama, and then complains about the affirmative action of generational wealth while her daughters are worth trust fund $10 million apiece. Stop telling me Bill Clinton is a down-home backcountry type when he's a Yale law grad who screwed every broad he could find, with or without consent, and stole half the White House on his way out. Stop telling me Hillary Clinton is a sacrificial public servant when she is a corrupt harridan who spends her entire career getting ahead, lying, living off her husband's checkered legacy, a legacy, by the way, she helped enshrine by threatening his rape victims. Stop telling me Doug Emhoff is America's dad-in-chief and Jewish liaison when he screwed the nanny and got her pregnant and has done literally nothing Jewish his entire adult life while raising a daughter who donates to pro-Hamas groups, and then says he's more in touch with his Judaism because he attends church on Easter with Kamala Harris at some rainbow flag church. Give me a break. And most of all, stop telling me, most of all, truly, stop telling me that the Democrats' positions don't matter, that we should not listen to them. Stop telling me they haven't been in charge. Stop telling me that I'm supposed to pretend that they haven't been in charge for 12 out of the last 16 years of my life, and that their threats to rewrite the Constitution, to destroy the Supreme Court, their threats to destroy the filibuster, to confiscate the earned wealth of people who innovate, to spend endless amounts of money that they did not produce, to institute price controls, to inflate the currency, to nationalize healthcare, to cut the military, to trans the children, to abort anything that moves, to enshrine voting procedures that facilitate fraud, to open the border and amnesty everyone who enters. Stop telling me none of that matters. Stop it.
I know you want to say amen, right? I was awestruck by that because it is so true, so on target. And I ask, is America stupid enough to reward all that by putting Kamala Harris in the White House? This troubles me. I mean, it really troubles me. I know it troubles you. I opened my Bible the other day to Zechariah 10, and there a couple verses stood out. The idols speak deceitfully. Diviners see visions that lie. They tell dreams that are false. They give comfort in vain. Therefore, the people wander like sheep oppressed for lack of a shepherd. Man, do not make Kamala Harris and the Democrats our shepherd.
This afternoon, sunny and pleasant. The break from the typical August humidity continues with high up to 85. Mainly clear tonight, low 59. A beautiful start to the weekend tomorrow. Times of clouds and sun with high 87. Clear starry night tomorrow night, low 65. Warming up a bit on Sunday with times of clouds and sun, high up to 89. Mainly clear, humid Sunday night, low 68. Come Monday, partly sunny and hot, high up to 90. I'm Ruth O'Brien on 98.9 FM The Answer.
Sanctuary cities are releasing dangerous, illegal immigrant criminals onto Ohio streets with Senator Sherrod Brown's support. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement reported 29 criminal aliens released in just a few weeks' time in Franklin County alone, including Edgar Moreno Soto, charged with felony firearms, drugs, released. Akir Muhammad, failure to register as a sex offender, released. Manuel Vasquez Sanchez, domestic violence, assault, and menacing, released. And the list goes on. But Senator Sherrod Brown voted 10 times to protect sanctuary cities in Ohio that release dangerous illegal immigrant criminals back onto our streets. Call Senator Sherrod Brown at 216-522-7272 and tell him to support S1068, the Stop Dangerous Sanctuary Cities Act, and start protecting Ohio families, not dangerous criminal illegals who shouldn't even be in the country. Paid for by One Nation, www.onenationamerica.org.
For over 30 years, a Gentle Dentist has been making patients smile.
It was everything they advertised. The staff were courteous, professional, knowledgeable, and best of all, they treat you like a person, not a number. They listen to your concerns and tell you what they're doing throughout the appointment. They make every effort to make you as comfortable as possible. I would highly recommend the Gentle Dentist.
Get your child a free custom sports mouth guard with a cleaning and exam. Call 614-431-3311.
Hey everybody, Charlie Kirk here. Did you know that 80% of adults take supplements to feel our best, right? Well, one thing your dog can't do without you is improve their diet or health to feel their best. That is why I believe Rough Greens could dramatically help your best friend by adding what is missing to their diet like you do. Rough Greens is helping thousands and thousands of dogs feel better and live longer, including my dog, Mr. Briggs, who loves it. Naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, who created Rough Greens, is also an airborne ranger and Green Beret, an amazing background. He loves dogs and is on a mission to help as many as he can. Dog food is dead, and Rough Greens supplements your dog's food with existing vitamins and minerals, omega oils, digestive enzymes, probiotics, and antioxidants. Dr. Black is offering you a free Jumpstart trial bag. To fetch your free Jumpstart trial bag, just cover shipping. Don't change your dog's food. Just go to roughgreens.com/Kirk, ruffgreens.com/Kirk.
Hi, I'm Paul George with Keller Williams Greater Columbus Realty, host of the Paul George Real Estate Show, broadcasting every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on 98.9 The Answer. Using over 30 years of trusted real estate agent experience in Central Ohio, I'll share invaluable insights into the ever-evolving local real estate market, provide you with current trends, and bring industry experts who will share their wisdom on the art of buying and selling homes. Join me every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. right here on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
Hear from one of America's most important public intellectuals on the Victor Davis Hanson Show. Now available on the Salem Podcast Network.
If you were a billionaire and Donald Trump put up a golf course, would you buy it? I wouldn't. Not because I wouldn't want to help Donald Trump, but they'd go after me. Find a statue. I got the man, you find the crime. That's how they would operate.
Subscribe to the Victor Davis Hanson Show today on Apple, Spotify, or at SalemPodcastNetwork.com.
PatriotSwitch.com products would be an awesome thing for you to have if, in fact, we have a catastrophic event that disrupts our supply chains again. I keep hearing these COVID numbers, and then I saw some mystery ailment across the world that's supposed to be some. Look, there are myriad reasons to become a PatriotSwitch.com member. Woke capitalism is one of them. You want to keep giving your money to corporations through products on the shelves at Walmart and Target and Kroger and Giant Eagle and other places that eventually a portion of your money finds its way back to BLM or Planned Parenthood or the Human Rights Campaign or something else. And you can stop all that. I'm not asking you to buy new stuff, deodorant, mouthwash, toothpaste, cleaning products, vitamins, supplements, all the stuff that's already in your home. Just buy it from a family-owned company that supports causes that you would support. Find out more at patriotswitch.com/Bruce. That's patriotswitch.com/Bruce. So it'll be interesting to see if the Democrats can continue to pull off this game of Kamala's great. We can't go back. That's one of the things. We can't go back. We're not going back. Well, yeah, okay. That's how every Republican feels. We don't go back to your rotten policies that have ruined the economy, ruined the border, ruined our standing on the world stage. We don't want to go back to your attempt to have men in women's spaces and boys playing girls' sports. And we don't want to go back to that either. But when you say you don't want to go back, you act like Donald Trump is still the incumbent president, and he is not. Okay? And we heard all about political violence at the Democratic convention, but only in the context of January the 6th. The attempt on Donald Trump's life, which, by the way, there's news on that today. Secret Service agents have apparently been placed on leave for the last, I think, 6 weeks. Multiple Secret Service agents. David Spunt of Fox reports this morning that 6 weeks ago, 5 members of the Secret Service were placed on administrative leave following the assassination attempt on President Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania on July 13th. July 13th, Bruce. You mean there was an attempt on President Trump's life on July 13th? If there were an attempt on Kamala Harris's life, and I'm not saying I want there to be, I'm just making the equivalency. How long do you think it would be before we would cease to hear about it? Oh, you know, Kamala Harris, she's persevering through. You know, Kamala Harris, they don't want her to be president because she's, you know, that would be the case, right? You know that would be the case. But Trump, a week later, gone. Sucked down the memory hole. So 5 agents have been placed on administrative leave. 1 member of Trump's personal protective team, 4 members of the Pittsburgh field office, including the special agent in charge. Now, the Fox reporting does not say whether they're being paid or not being paid. And I should note, too, political violence, not just Donald Trump, who was wounded in the attack, but Corey Comparator, a dad, a husband, a public servant, a firefighter. Corey Comparator, he has the extreme misfortune that he died at a Donald Trump rally. He was vilified in the immediate aftermath of that. Oh, serves him right, stooge, going to a Trump rally. I mean, the Democrats are just evil. The people who follow them are evil. The media is complicit in all of this. I played the Ben Shapiro rant for you. And Ben Shapiro is a political commentator. He rants from time to time. I would argue seldom more truthfully and forcefully than the 4 minutes I played for you in the last segment. That's on brand for him. It is not on brand, not at all on brand for Dana Perino of Fox, because Fox tries, and I know stinky Democrats will disagree with this, but you know, if you have a brain in your head, you know that there are some people at Fox who are blatant partisans. Sean Hannity, Laura Ingraham, Jesse Waters. I can't watch Hannity. I can't watch Ingraham. Gutfeld is funny, but he makes no bones about the fact he's a partisan. But there are some people at Fox that I think work very hard to be down the middle. Obviously, Brett Baer, top of that list. Dana Perino, not at the top of that list, but Dana Perino tries not to let her, she served, press secretary for George W. Bush. Of course, we know her allegiances. But this morning is one of the few times I've ever heard her say, okay, I'm stepping out of my neutrality position here. And she has a Democratic strategist on set and a Republican leaning reporter, Charlie Hurd, opinion editor, Washington Examiner. Marie Harf is the Democratic hack who's on the stage. And here's Dana Perino talking about this obsession that Democrats had throughout their convention with Project 2025. Oh, if Trump's elected, Project 2025. It'll be the end of democracy. It'll be the end of America, Project 2025. Which I guess, you have to talk about Project 2025 with Donald Trump, because you can't really talk about, you know, the 4 years Donald Trump was president, except for January 6th. Like, you can talk about January 6th, but you can't talk about how the economy performed. You can't talk about the fact we were in no wars. You can't talk about the fact we had low energy. You can't talk about that. So that's why they talk about Project 2025, because they cannot disparage the Trump presidency, because if they try to disparage the Trump presidency, people go, that's not true. That's not true. My life was pretty good. My wages were pretty good. I could afford things at the grocery store. I could afford gas. So the media is running cover. You heard Ben Shapiro say it's 33 days. Kamala Harris has not sat for an interview. She won't sit for an interview unless she's absolutely forced to, and she won't be forced to unless the polls start to swing into a direction that she deems to be dangerous to her chances of getting elected. But here's Dana Perino today, reflecting on the obsession with Project 2025, pinning it on Donald Trump and how complicit the media is in that. No, it's not 4 minutes. It's just about a little bit over 40 seconds. Oh, let me start that one more time, because I had the sound down because I was bringing you the details from Fox, and Fox always has audio that plays in the background, and I didn't want that to jump into the show. So here's Dana Perino today on Fox.
The media has allowed the Democrats all week to say Donald Trump owns Project 2025, and they're making him eat it. And then all the speeches say that. He has on the record said, he basically has excommunicated people. Like, I don't want you. You aren't a part of my thing. I don't care if people that work for him said that. People that work for Kamala Harris said that inflation was going to go up if they passed the Inflation Reduction Act. And you guys are apparently nobody knows about that. But the media then doesn't ask Kamala Harris, and can't, because she's not available. Well, why are you all of a sudden changing your mind on fracking? But why are you all of a sudden he has to own something that he has publicly disavowed? She doesn't have to own anything that she won't comment on. That's bizarre.
It is not really bizarre. It's who they are. It's the other side. I always say Democrats view the world through a window, not a mirror. They never see that they are doing what they accuse everyone else of doing. Trump's a liar. I mean, it is so frustrating, as Ben Shapiro articulated in the last segment, how many lies the Democrats tell. And yet they never have any compunction about it. I've wondered, when they get up there and they talk about, you know, Kamala's going to fix this, and Kamala's going to fix this, and Kamala's going to... Do any of them ask like the one 3-letter word that I'm screaming at my television when she does that? How? How's she going to fix it? And if she's going to fix it, why does she have to wait until she's president? Because we all know that her boss, Joe Biden, has been figuratively, if not literally, asleep at the switch throughout at least the second half of his still ongoing term as president. Yes, I know you forgot he was president. I forgot too, because we never see him. And when we do, we're like, holy crap, that guy's still the president. So this is deeply frustrating. It's deeply offensive. And more than that, it's deeply dangerous to the future of our country, because we got a lot of countries out there that hate us.
Are you under the impression that a metal roof costs 2 or 3 times more than a shingle roof? No, it doesn't. Hi, folks. I'm Dan Tolan, owner of The Metal Roof Company. As your foremost metal roofing authority in Central Ohio, I can promise you it's the most inexpensive roof you'll ever buy, because it's the last roof you'll ever buy. With lifetime warranties and a variety of financing options, give us a call at 721-ROOF, 721-ROOF, or reach out to us on the web at themetalroofcompany.com.
On August 30th, Reagan returns to office.
We are the greatest country in the world. We have just forgotten.
You can run from a bully for so long, but after a while, you're going to have to stand up to him. I am about to start the biggest war of this century.
You told me you wanted to make a difference in this world.
What would you have me do?
I want you to fight. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Reagan in theaters Friday, August 30th. Rated PG-13. Find us at 989theanswer.com. Download our apps. Stream us 24/7. WTOH and WTOH HD1, Upper Arlington, Columbus. Breaking
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Speaking from Jackson Hole, Wyoming, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell says he believes interest rate cuts are just around the corner.
The time has come for policy to adjust. The direction of travel is clear, and the timing and pace of rate cuts will depend on incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks.
Powell emphasized that inflation after the worst price spike in 4 decades inflicted pain on millions of households appears largely under control now. Also at townhall.com, the Democratic convention in Chicago wrapping up Thursday night. Vice President Kamala Harris told the audience what they wanted to hear.
On behalf of everyone whose story could only be written in the greatest nation on earth, I accept your nomination to be President of the United States of America.
And in other campaign news, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. with a big announcement today in Phoenix. He could be suspending his independent presidential campaign. The union representing workers at Canadian National Railway Company say they'll begin returning to work, but the union says the work stoppage at Canadian Pacific Kansas City Limited remains ongoing, pending an order from the Canada Industrial Relations Board. The Canadian government forced the country's 2 major railroads into arbitration with their labor union. That was late Thursday afternoon. The move was aimed at averting potentially dire economic consequences across that country and in the United States if the trains are sidelined for a long period. On Wall Street, stocks sharply higher, the Dow adding 326 points, the NASDAQ composite up 153. More at townhall.com.
For this afternoon, sunny and pleasant. The break from the typical August humidity continues with high up to 85. Mainly clear tonight, low 59. A beautiful start to the weekend tomorrow. Times of clouds and sun with a high 87. Clear starry night tomorrow night, low 65. Warming up a bit on Sunday with times of clouds and sun, high up to 89. Mainly clear humid Sunday night, low 68. Come Monday, partly sunny and hot, high up to 90. I'm Ruth O'Brien on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
Hey, Health Warriors, Dr. Brandon Schreiner here with Revive Your Health Radio on 98.9 FM, The Answer, where every week you're going to get world-class lifestyle education from myself and other healthcare practitioners. So if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, be sure to tune in to Revive Your Health Radio every week on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
Revive Your Health Radio with Dr. Brandon Schreiner, Saturday and Sunday afternoons at 1 on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
With SRN Sports, I'm Jeremy House. Major League Baseball and the American League, the Houston Astros increased their lead in the AL West with a win over the Baltimore Orioles.
Spencer Arrighetti allowed just 3 hits and struck out 6 over 6 innings to lead the Astros to a 6-0 win over the Orioles and increase their lead to 5.5 games in the AL West. Arrighetti improves to 6-11 and has won 2 of his last 3 starts. Ben Gamel and Shea Whitcomb each drove in 2 runs for Houston. Gamel was 2 for 3. Burns allowed 5 runs over 5 2/3 and falls to 12-6 on the season. The Astros have won 12 of their last 15.
Where's Shapiro?
9 straight on the road.
That's correspondent and Greg Heist reporting. Other American League winners included the New York Yankees, Oakland, and Toronto. In the National League, winners were Washington, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, Atlanta, and the New York Mets. This is SRN Sports. Staying with baseball, one interleague game yesterday saw the Chicago Cubs crush Detroit into 2. In the NFL, Anthony Richardson led a touchdown drive on his first series against Cincinnati Bengals backups, but the rest of his night was a struggle, even though the Indianapolis Colts won the preseason game 47-14. The Indianapolis quarterback got his first significant amount of playing time, and the rest of the offensive starters showed he still has work to do on his accuracy and his consistency. Elsewhere, Chicago Bears cornerback Douglas Coleman III was immobilized on a stretcher and taken from Arrowhead Stadium on a cart last night after making a tackle on the Kansas City Chiefs' Cornell Powell on the first play of the second half in a preseason game won by the Bears, 34-21. Coleman had his head up when he came in to make the tackle near the Chiefs' sideline. This is SRN Sports.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
Want service that's in tune with your needs? It's time to get the kitchen of your dreams. Update, upgrade, uplift with Kitchen Tune-Up. It's amazing what a cabinet refacing will do to liven up your space. In and out in just 1 week with no damage. And keep in mind, if you're thinking of selling, a gorgeous kitchen can significantly increase your home's value. 0% financing is available right off Wilson Bridge Road in Worthington. Go to kitchentuneup.com for a free in-home estimate. Update, upgrade, uplift with Kitchen Tune-Up.
Bad decisions in the future are make enough bad decisions and you will destroy your life. Listen to The Flock Line with your host Rick Hughes every Sunday morning at 8 here on 98.9 FM The Answer. The Flock Line describes a main line of resistance in your soul built on God's Word. Join us every Sunday for 30 minutes of inspiration, motivation, education, all without manipulation. That's The Flock Line with Rick Hughes, Sunday mornings at 8, right here on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
I look forward to the 12 o'clock hour of the Bruce Hooley Show on Fridays. It's the final hour of the week. That means we're almost at the weekend. That's a very good thing. Not the final hour of my week. I will be back tonight at 6 o'clock with Josh Pick for the Aptus Retirement Blueprint Radio Show. And we will play that for you tomorrow at noon. In case you missed it, it's a week to pay very close attention to what Josh is saying. The markets are up today because Jerome Powell this morning, the Fed chairman, was speaking glowingly of the jobs report that was a blatant lie from the Biden administration all throughout the year. 818,000 fewer jobs than they said when they said that everything was great because the jobs report was great, except the job report wasn't great because it was overinflated by 68,000 jobs a month or 818,000 for the year. So even when the news is bad and even when the lies are told, the news is great because now we can cut interest rates in September just before a presidential election, giving Kamala Harris license to continue to lie about how healthy the American economy is. See how it all works out? We can put a smiley face on a cesspool of an economy, and they will, and they do. So look forward to talking to Josh about whether he has seen Kamala Harris's tax policies. We don't get political on the Aptus Retirement Blueprint Radio Show, but your retirement is certainly going to be impacted if Kamala Harris gets the chance to enact a proposed 25% tax on unrealized capital gains. Unrealized means you haven't sold them yet, but they've gone up in value, like your house. Oh, everybody wants to move to New Albany or Gahanna because Intel is coming in, and your house is suddenly worth $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 more than it was the year before. That is an unrealized capital gain, my friend. And you say, well, I'm not worth over $100 million, Bruce, so that won't apply to me. Give them time. Give them time because, as has been proven many, many times by many, many economists, you can tax the richest people in America to the hilt. It will not pay for all the social programs and all the government grifts to non-governmental organizations that the Biden administration wants to roll out. It will not. And so what will they do? They will move the income levels down and down and down and down until suddenly, hey, look, now you get to pay the 25% unrealized capital gains. I'm sure they'll have a refund check for you if the market becomes overinflated and your house goes down in value. Aren't you sure of that? I'm absolutely sure of that. Gee, I wonder if so, where will that money come from? Oh, that's right, another kind of tax. So we will try in as less partisan, in as least partisan way as possible to talk with Josh about that in the first segment of the show, and then we'll get to more evergreen stuff in the second part of the Aptus Retirement Blueprint Radio Show tonight, 6 o'clock, right after the Windsor Report. Now, I've established there were tons of lies told from the stage in Chicago. No Democrat can open their mouth without lying. There are some that caught our attention, some that did not. Here's one that might not have caught your attention because it was a preamble to a bunch of other lies that Kamala Harris told. But I just want to bring it up so that when you have conversations with people and they try to tell you why they want to vote for Kamala instead of Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is an evil billionaire, I just want you to know the truth and not be sucked in by this statement from Kamala Harris last night.
The middle class is where I come from.
The middle class is where I come from. All right. So